At the 2017 PWBA Sonoma County Open, Colombia's Rocío Restrepo won her third PWBA title and had proven to be one of the best young players of the relaunch era. But it wasn't just her performance that left an impression that night. It was the answer to a question from PWBA Hall of Famer Carolyn Doran-Ballard.
I work really hard. I practice a lot. I did fall many times, but I always find a way to come back as stronger. Don't ever give up on your dreams. As long as you have faith and you have the right people around you and surround yourself with positive people, it's gonna happen. And you can't win if you quit. So don't ever give up your dreams and always work hard and remember to treat others like you wanna be treated. And be awesome every day. Just thank him upstairs, He always has a plan, and it always works out if you believe.
She inspires me, and I'm not a kid.
Restrepo's answer became a mantra for the PWBA Tour to help a new generation of young women dream, work hard, and achieve their goals, as the PWBA does its part to motivate women athletes, not only within bowling, but across sports. From Rocío to another player who's always motivated, Kelly Kulick. In the first 2 seasons of the relaunched PWBA Tour, USBC Hall of Famer Kelly Kulick had amassed 9 stepladder finals appearances, but was unable to hoist a trophy in the tour's new act. However, amidst tragedy, there often is triumph.
Kelly wants it. Kelly gets it. Big strike for 224.
The future PWBA Hall of Famer's breakthrough finally came at the 2017 Fountain Valley Open against then Tour rookie Verity Crawley in an emotional win. Not just because a title was finally hers in the new era, but because of the loss of her beloved mother Carol just several months prior.
How much was she on your mind today?
She's been on my mind so much. I mean, not only was she my mother, she was my biggest supporter, but she was my best friend. And I lost 2 people the day she left us. I can't go back. I caught some good breaks. Verity Crawley is an amazing bowler, and I know she's going to make more shows and be a champion out here on tour. And I just caught some good breaks. I finally didn't split when my ball went through the face, which is very nice. And I caught the Brooklyn, obviously, to make the 4-bagger. So they were just due for me. Maybe Mom was looking down on me, but, I hope she's up there dancing with Elvis and finally celebrating, probably smoking a cigarette. But yeah.
In a sports landscape where young athletes often provide memorable moments, then 17-year-old Jillian Martin became the youngest player to win a PWBA Tour event at the 2021 Bowl TV Classic. Martin nearly won an event in January of that season after displaying her skills at the 3-event Kickoff Classic Series, the first PWBA competition since the COVID-19 pandemic. In those events, she finished 8th, 2nd, and 3rd, respectively. Now a junior competing at the University of Nebraska-Lincoln, Martin has since added to her growing lore by capturing the 2024 USBC Queens as a 20-year-old. Simply remarkable.
I have no idea. I mean, it's just so amazing to go out there and bowl against the best ladies in the world. And just to be able to do what I did, I feel like I made pretty good shots that whole game with the exclusion of the 10th frame because I was just a little excited and happy and all that good stuff. But it's awesome.
In 2019, Danielle McEwan already had 5 titles and 1 major on her resume, but she cemented her future Hall of Fame status with the biggest win of her young career. Tanya Raumenper, the friend and tour roommate of McEwan, left a devastating 7-pin on the second shot of the 10th frame, which would have all but shut out McEwan at the 2019 U.S. Women's Open.
That was another strike for Tanya Raumenper. Instead, a 7-pin stands.
Wow.
Now, with control of her destiny, McEwan stepped up and calmly delivered 2 strikes and added 9 pins on the field in the final frame to earn her first U.S. Women's Open title and 2nd career major at the age of 29.
Does she have the first? Yes, she does.
It's a good shot.
Has another! Back-to-back jacks. And now 8 or more will win it She's won the 2019 U.S. Women's Open by 2 pins.
I think everything is just like a stepping stone to the next piece, whether it be success or failure. So learning to win in college and in international events definitely helped me win the US Open, but at the same point, I had a lot of second place failures that helped me win the US Open. I was able to pinpoint thoughts that I had in my head or physical things that were going wrong in key moments that I then knew exactly what to focus on in those 10th frames when I needed those strikes. As we said, the US Open is, you just grind. You're like just kind of bowling the pins and bowling the lanes in front of you and just believing that over time, if you make the right decisions and bowl well, you'll climb to the top.
Speaking of the U.S. Women's Open, it would only be right for that event to serve as the backdrop of another historical moment, this time featuring an astounding $100,000. Although masks were a requirement post-COVID-19, it didn't stop the on-lane performance of one Josie Barnes, who charged to the lead and the number 1 seed during position round the previous night against Singapore's Sherry Tan. Barnes and Tan have a history of great title matches, including the 2019 Greater Cleveland Open, and the U.S. Women's Open was no different. With Barnes on the bench, Tan needed 2 strikes and 5 pins for victory, but fell short to give Barnes her first major title and the largest paycheck in PWBA history, a record $100,000.
This is it. Gotta have the strike. Sherry Tan doesn't get the strike. Josie Barnes on the bench has won. Josie Barnes, her first major championship. The 2021 U.S. Women's Open winner and a record $100,000. Josie has done it. Husband Kyle.
You're incredible.
And the emotion
You're so much.
of a championship moment.
I mean, I think the biggest thing for my daughter, for young boys and girls, is just be a fighter. You know, we can do hard things. You know, it's not always the easy road, but it's the hard road that makes us great.
While the relaunch of the PWBA Tour not only provided players within the United States the opportunity to compete, it allowed the tour to tap back into its global roots from previous generations and the return of international superstars. One international player who has benefited from competing against many of the best in the world is Malaysia's Sin Lee Jane. Jane made her first tour appearance in 2016. She returned to prominence in 2024 after a 3-year hiatus post-COVID, and wasted no time showcasing her championship mentality. In previous seasons, Jane was unable to adhere to a full-time PWBA schedule, but that changed in 2024 because of a favorable national team slate with Team Malaysia. She went on to capture 2 standard titles at the Bowler's Journal Rockford Open and Greater Nashville Classic, and 2 majors, the U.S. Women's Open and PWBA Tour Championship. Her dominant season earned her Player of the Year honors and will go down as one of the best seasons in PWBA history.
Dasha won this one. This time Jane Sin will get the best of Dasha, and she will continue to be perfect on the right lane. Jane Sin from Malaysia. There's the smile to clinch her second title of the season. Indeed, Lee Jane Sin, a champion again.
It's 9. She's done it. Lee Jane Sin of Malaysia has won the 2024 U.S. Women's Open here in Indianapolis. Gets 10, gets the win.
And I would just want to thank everybody in the house today. Thank you very much for supporting the bowling community, and I hope you guys will continue to support us. Not just international players, but the players throughout the world. Thank you.
In the fall of 2003, the Professional Women's Bowling Association ceased operations, and with it, the lives of women around the sport of bowling were forever changed. Veterans, rookies, and champions in their prime were all affected by the difficult decision. Without the PWBA Tour, bowling was left with a glaring wound which had never fully healed.
It was really crushing when, you get out of college and you're like, that's it.
I was in high school when it folded, and I always watched it. I still would watch reruns on YouTube and stuff. And I was like, okay, I'm gonna go to college and then I'm gonna go on tour, and that was my plan.
That was until the 2014 announcement that the PWBA Tour would return under the commitment of the BPAA and USBC.
And this is an historic night for professional bowling. The PWBA Tour is back.
Players like Kelly Kulick and Liz Johnson, who carried women's bowling during the years without a tour, could now finish their careers on their own accord, while graduating collegiate players now had a professional women's tour to call home.
So much talent in women's bowling, and to have the opportunity to show that to the rest of the world, the country and the world, is a great opportunity, and I'm very excited about.
Having this opportunity to bowl these tournaments gives the rest of the people coming out of college something to look forward to, and hopefully it'll bring back all those competitive bowlers that we kind of lost for the last few years.
I think this coming back will give every young athlete a chance to do what they always love.
The excitement and anticipation of the 2015 Sacramento Open, the tour's first official event since 2003, was rampant across the industry. Alicia Current took home the title and will forever carry the distinction of being the first champion of a PWBA standard event in the relaunched era.
As Alicia Current picks up the victory on our first regular season PWBA event in more than a dozen years.
It's great to be back.
Women's bowling is back. And we are glad you're along for the ride all summer long here on Bowl TV on Extra Frame. We look forward to bringing you lots and lots of special moments like this.
Stop me if you've heard this before. Liz Johnson won a major title. Of course you've heard that, because Johnson had set the standard since the relaunch by winning Player of the Year in 2015 and 2016 on the strength of 5 titles and 3 majors. But in 2017, Johnson took it to a whole nother level. She made 9 stepladder finals appearances and won 3 titles, including 2 additional majors. In a battle of women's bowling titans, Johnson defeated Kelly Kulick in the Gold Bowling Players Championship.
Johnson. In her legendary Hall of Fame career.
And then squared off against that season's Rookie of the Year, Daria Payok, to win her 6th U.S. Women's Open title and 10th career major.
And Liz Johnson,
Seeing the emotions,
is fighting back the tears here. She needs 2 pins to wrap it up. And we are on the verge of yet another chapter of this incredible story. The legend lives on. Liz Johnson has done it again. For the 4th consecutive time, she has won the U.S. Women's Open. Legend Liz.
Johnson had reclaimed her dominant form from decades ago and had entered the conversation of greatest of all time. While it was clear at this moment Liz Johnson was the best player on tour, Shannon O'Keefe was patiently waiting for her breakthrough opportunity, which was quickly approaching. After becoming the first player other than Liz Johnson to win Player of the Year in 2018 on the strength of 2 titles, 1 major, and 7 championship round appearances, Shannon O'Keefe added a new level of dominance for the 2019 season. O'Keefe won early and often that season to the tune of 5 titles, the most wins by any player since Carolyn Doran-Ballard took home 7 titles in 2001.
Needs 5 pins. Gets 9 pins. And gets a win here in East Hartford, Connecticut tonight.
goes back to the other bowling ball in this left lane.
Yes! There's the first of 2 she needed.
She won 4 standard titles: the Twin Cities Open, the Tucson Open, the East Hartford Open, and the Orlando Open. but saved her best for last at Richmond Raceway, where she captured her second career PWBA Tour Championship and her second consecutive Player of the Year award.
She bowls fearless, Kelly.
Yes, she does.
What a night for Shannon O'Keefe yet again.
There's no questions to say. I just want to give this moment to you to sum up this last year alone. 5 record titles in one season, 2-time Player of the Year. Congratulations from the bottom of my heart and all the fans here. What would you like to say?
This is a dream season, and first and foremost, it's because of God. I love Him, I trust in Him, and so I can't do this without Him. I'm so thankful to all of our sponsors: Kulick AMF, Go Bowling, BowlerX.com, Pepsi Nationwide, Dennis Bickmeyer, Richmond Raceway. Thank you so much for making this little girl's dreams come true and making me a racing fan.
Although O'Keefe dominated the 2019 headlines, not even she could top what Dasha Kovaleova delivered in August of that season. After winning her first major title at the USBC Queens in May, Kovalova was in the midst of her best tour season to date after a decorated collegiate career at Wichita State. What could possibly be better than winning your first major title? Well, how about rolling the 300 game on national television? Kovalova, the number 2 seed on the show, rolled past Maria Jose Rodriguez before meeting top seed Liz Johnson in the final match.
Straight strikes. Looking for number 11 in a row. Dasha Kovaleova has got 11 straight and one more for a perfect game.
With each strike, Kovalova inched closer to history until the pivotal 10th frame sealed the deal. 12 consecutive strikes at the Pepsi Louisville Open, and Dasha Kovaleova became the 4th bowler in PWBA history to roll a televised 300 game.
Oksana, her mom, can barely watch. For a 300 game, Kovaleova does it! It's a 300 for Dasha Kovaleova! And she wins the Pepsi PWBA Louisville Open at the same time! Incredible bowling history today from Louisville, Kentucky!
Dasha, go hug your mom, babe.
She did it!
Now Dasha Kovaleova, 300 perfection, 12 strikes in a row. Unbelievable.
It's the first time Oksana has ever seen her bowl on TV in person to sit on a show, and it's a 300 game for a tour title to beat Liz Johnson. I mean, you can't script that, Kelly.
Where were you when the changing of the guard happened? It was the roll-off heard round the world featuring Liz Johnson, the incumbent and reigning Player of the Year, the dominant Hall of Famer she was, versus Shannon O'Keefe, who had succumbed to Johnson in previous title matches, most notably the 2015 U.S. Women's Open. But at the 2017 PWBA Tour Championship, O'Keefe decided it was time for a change, but not without a little bit of drama.
If I want to make the Tour Championship, I've got to keep competing.
Push.
Yes! She kept competing.
With a chance to shut out Johnson and win the semifinal match outright, O'Keefe split in the 10th frame and allowed Johnson the chance to win the match, which ultimately resulted in a tie at 222.
1 ball roll off.
Does get the 7. And we are all tied, 222 apiece in our second semifinal.
While the previous O'Keefe might have folded in the roll-off moment, the 2017 O'Keefe showed a new and dominant resilience.
Here we go. Roll off. Shannon O'Keefe.
Yes!
Wow. Needs that strike. Liz Johnson. Brooklyn strike. Can you believe this? Here's Shannon O'Keefe. Incredible. Pressure strike for O'Keefe. Can the legend answer one more time? You better believe it. We're going to another one.
The two players traded strikes through 2 roll-off frames, but O'Keefe was dominant during this stretch and began the 3rd roll-off with another powerful strike.
3rd time. Back to back to back jacks for O'Keefe. Another one for Liz. Not this time. 10 stands.
And with a 9 count from Liz Johnson, O'Keefe not only had won the roll-off, but won the mental battle with herself, thus simultaneously making Liz Johnson seem just a little bit human. And of course, as they say, the rest is history, as O'Keefe went on to defeat Kelly Kulick in the title match for her first career major title, which began a run of dominant seasons from one Shannon O'Keefe.
The right things and put a big focus on that mental game over the physical, yet still worked on the physical features of her game, and here's the result.
Shannon O'Keefe, for the first time in her career, is a major champion. She has won the PWBA Tour Championship in Richmond, Virginia tonight. What a moment for Shannon O'Keefe.
If you were to choose the perfect venue to celebrate the PWBA Tour's 10th anniversary marquee event, you might have chosen an arena, a stadium, or even the streets of your favorite major city. Well, how about the Resch Center in Green Bay, Wisconsin, located directly across the street from the frozen tundra of Lambeau Field, where football stars become Hall of Famers. More than 6,500 people, in conjunction with the opening ceremonies of the Junior Gold Championships, witnessed the historic stepladder finals of the PWBA Anniversary Open. The roar of the crowd could be heard from miles away as Colombia's Rocio Restrepo, Sweden's Nora Johansson, England's Verity Crawley, and the United States' Josie Barnes and Kayla Smith were introduced. All 5 players, each with their own unique storylines and individual significance to the PWBA, helped contribute to the dynamic, electric, and unprecedented atmosphere only an arena could produce. As fate would have it, Barnes, who won the 2025 USBC Queens earlier in the season, would go on to defeat Smith 236-191 in front of not only 6,500 people, but most importantly, her husband Kyle, and for the first time in person, her 5-year-old daughter Lisa Ruth witnessed Mom take home the historic prize. While there could be only one champion on that electric night, the win was felt and shared with every athlete on the PWBA Tour, the bowling industry, and women's professional sports.
What was it like bowling in the arena? Amazing. I mean, these kids came out to support, and the crowd was unbelievable. You know, hearing the cheers and the chanting, and it was amazing.
And amazing it was. Hello, PWBA fans. I'm Emil Williams Jr., voice of the PWBA Tour. The last 10 years have provided some of our best memories, from living legends who further cemented their legendary status, to players who began their tour dreams in previous generations, but created new levels of dominance in the current relaunched era, to young phenoms who will continue to etch their names into the future fabric of the PWBA Tour, to international superstars who brought their A-games and their respective cultures to the PWBA Tour. And after watching the 10th anniversary season in 2025, I think we all can agree it certainly lived up to its anniversary name. The question is, who will add to the PWBA legacy during the next 10 seasons? We certainly thank you for watching. We thank you for joining us, and watch next year on Bowl TV as the next decade of dominance on the PWBA Tour begins.